he would just introduce himself as Dr. Ray.
I'm Tim's. Through a donut. Timothy. Tim's. I brought coffee.
Okay. Well, thank you all for being mostly on time. I don't expect you to know me, but I do expect that you at least recognize my client. And what I want done today, in the next few days, is some delicate work. My client is Crystal Rocks. You don't recognize the name. Like Crystal Rocks, you think that it might be some sort of math addict.
Does she have really happy pop songs?
She does. So you probably have her on a few of your playlists.
At least one of them.
But she's relatively new to the scene. She's only really gotten popular in the last 6 months or so. When she started off with her big pop single, It's a Sign. You know Crystal. You are a fan of Crystal. You know that she is an up-and-coming pop star. She's just kind of been like a hurricane on the pop scene. Like, she has these fun, happy beats, just very wholesome, good songs. Like, she's, like, mothers aren't ashamed to let their daughters listen to this kind of music. She's not trashy or...
That's awesome.
Yes, she's just a good-natured, like, icon in the pop scene, which is refreshing for this day and age when, like, sex, drugs, and rock and roll and murder and violence is kind of like the predominant scene on, like, the entertainment side. Mm-hmm. She's just like this burst of fresh air. You probably are very familiar with her from the radio, and you know that she's about to start a national tour.
Would you describe yourself as a fan? Would Tim's be a fan?
Oh, yeah, okay, so I won't make that character decision for you, but you are very, very much aware of her.
He wouldn't turn the radio station if her song came on, but I don't think he's gonna be, like, a fan.
Okay.
He doesn't collect the albums, but he's probably got one.
She only has the one.
Oh, okay, then he probably has it.
You are a decker, so you've been on the net, so you probably have seen her advertisements pop up everywhere too. Mm-hmm. You've probably employed them against some people.
Probably.
Yeah, he says that his client is Crystal Rocks, and she is preparing to do her final show in Seattle this coming Saturday in 2 days, and he wants you to take care of a little problem. See, people love Crystal. I love Crystal. Crystal is phenomenal. She is a force of nature. It's only natural that people want to be near her. Some people take it to an uncomfortable level. She has herself I don't want to say stalker because that's such a negative word, but...
Ooh, super fan.
Perhaps, yes. I think superfan would have been appropriate if it was not for the last incident that we had with him. He put her last bodyguard in a coma.
What did the last bodyguard do?
Prevented him from being around her.
So a stalker with violent tendencies.
Yes, this was the first instance of him becoming violent, which is why I want to nip this in the bud before her final show in Seattle, so we can end this on a good note for her.
Alright, I want to roll something here, because I'm not getting... This guy is bothersome to me, as a Johnson. Just for the fact that he was really dancing around the issue to the where he didn't want to describe it as stalking, but then not superfan. But actually, you know what? Stalking with violent tendencies, that actually sounds just about right. I'm not digging him, and I can't really judge intention on anything, because it sounds clear that he wants this guy out of the way. That's fine. I guess what I want to do is maybe a perception to find something that vindicates this vibe that I'm getting from him.
Okay. He is obviously holding something back in regards to this whole situation, and he might not all the way be on the level. But I mean, that is pretty standard for a Johnson in this. Like, he's shiny. Like, you feel like if you touched them, your hand would come away a little slick and slippery.
That's fine. I'm just cynical.
Yeah.
So I'm not...
You...
I'm going to be prepared if anyone tries to pull anything over on me.
Okay, that's fair. You are well aware that this guy is not being totally open with you about this whole situation.
No, and as he proceeds describing it, Dr. Ori just may be in a position to grill him a little bit on certain details.
Okay, that's fine. If you want to hop in with any questions or anything, that's fine.
Do you have video of incident so we know how he fights?
Of that particular incident, no. It happened relatively out of the blue, and we weren't really prepared for that level of violence.
Where did it happen at?
It was on the way back from her last concert. She was getting from there to the hotel, and he cornered her from when she was trying to enter the hotel, and the bodyguard prevented him from laying his hands on her.
So it's probably a street cam. Give me just a minute.
Okay.
And Tim's gets in the attaché case once again, brings out his deck, and is going to begin to try and hack and try and get into a street camera.
Yeah, what you're gonna have to do is you hop into the net. Do you run hot or cold?
He'll run hot.
Okay.
So he'll zonk out.
Yeah, so you just
So just
give me a minute. Yeah, you just fucking pass
He
out.
just gets pushed off of me because I'm sure he went like this. And it's just like...
Yeah, so he's actually knocked out. He's probably doing the thing that strangers do on the bus when they sleep, and he's got his face like smushed up against your shoulder.
Okay, so he'll find it, download it, and okay. And it's at your comms. There you go. I got it.
So, Tubin was probably just making idle small chat with you guys. So yeah, the footage of the fight is going to show he is a brick shithouse of a man, and he doesn't look like he's using any weapons. He is just punching, and he is just brutal, efficient, and he turned this bodyguard, who was no slouch himself. He got a couple pot shots off, managed to do a little bit of damage, but it didn't even look like it phased this guy.
Is everyone in this video human?
Yes. The assailant is human. He's just a big buff Cheeto puff of a human. The guard is, let's say the guard is Nork.
Oh.
In the footage, you can see Crystal doesn't look scared at all. She looks kind of just confused. Like you know how you get kind of like disoriented when you wake up from a really good nap? It's like she's doing that, and like she's not like freaking out, she's not panicking, but the other bodyguard there, the one that actually let you in to the room, just kind of scoops her up and goes off camera. And this guy is just pummeling the bodyguard, and it's around this point Knight Errant shows up with guns and try and surround the guy, but he runs off the screen, and that is the end of that encounter.
Typical Knight Errant. Can't do the jump.
I know, I was very disappointed. But
Seems like disappointing night for you.
very. As you can see, he's a brutalist. He absolutely destroyed that bodyguard. And I don't want him to do that to my Crystal. So, I want you to find him, and I want you to take care of him. I don't care how. I don't want to know how. I just want this taken care of before her show, so we don't have to worry about that. This has all just been very stressful for the poor thing.
I'll just quickly download her tour schedule so I know when the show is.
Yeah, it's going to be at the Palladium.
Sure.
It's going to be at the Palladium. It's Saturday around 7 o'clock at night. Tickets are all sold out.
Damn. Whatever we can score free ones after this.
Perhaps you can afford it. For this, I will offer you $5,000 apiece.
It's like what I make in like 2 months. So.
I know, it's very generous. But I hope you can see that this is very important to me. And to Crystal. Did you guys have anything that you want to ask him at this point?
I guess besides the physical description of what this guy looks like, which, sure, that's helpful. We can identify him that way. What leads, if any, are available to actually track down this individual? Or was the plan for us to just kind of hang out with Crystal?
I would prefer if you stayed away from Crystal. She's very delicate, and she doesn't like this kind of attention at all.
So about those leads then.
Yes, those are the leads. And he takes his comm up, and he kind of does this, and he'll put together a file, and he'll send it to you guys. And he doesn't have the gentleman's, or I call him a gentleman. He doesn't have the stalker's name in there. He doesn't know anything about him, but he's been proactive in trying to figure out who this guy is. And there's some good details. He's hired a private investigator. He's paid some people to kind of keep an eye out for this person. And he kind of has like a general ballpark of where this guy's base of operations might be, just depending on, or just based on the amount of time he's been seen there. And it's like a 1 block radius. So it's pretty narrowed down. You just have to do some digging yourself to really pinpoint where he is exactly. And he has he'll send you guys just a bunch of emails that were sent from a bunch of dummy accounts, just of varying degrees of aggression, varying degrees of obsession, proclaiming love for Crystal, calling her the light of his life, from like a complete 180, calling her a dirty little for ignoring him and for trying to avoid him, and just all this other stuff. And then immediately back to, I didn't mean that, I sent that when I was drunk. Just like very, very like ups and downs.
Yeah, so we have a Don Juan on our hands.
Yeah. Okay.
And it's around this point that Mr. Two doesn't notice. But you know what? Actually, why don't you guys roll me perceptions?
3.
Okay, so
That's
y'all
weird.
got 3.
That's shockingly
Consistent. All
consistent.
right. You guys would notice from behind Tuvin, because he's kind of like, if you guys are on the couch, he's kind of on the love seat, and like you can see like the door to the bedroom, and like the rest of the penthouse is there, and you see this very slight woman kind of just lingering in the doorway, and she's just kind of like looking at you guys, very confused, like she's trying to like focus on you guys, like she can't really, and she's just like, oh, do we have fans here? And she'll kind of just sweep into the room, and
Da! And he points at him.
and she'll just kind of like go up, and she'll like reach out to shake hands, and if you don't do it, then she'll just, it's so lovely to meet you all. What are your names? I'm Crystal.
I'm Timothy.
Timothy.
Hi.
Vadim.
Okay.
This is
We
exciting.
understand someone's been bothering you.
Really?
Right. Yeah.
No, my fans never bother me. What? It's never a bother to meet any of you. I'm nothing without my fans.
There was a fight the other night. Your bodyguard was seriously injured.
I roll perception on her. Like, is there like a way to tell just how wasted she is? Because to me, she seems really wasted.
Yeah, you can roll. Like she's not slurring her words, and she's not like stumbling, so you don't think she's drunk. And she's just like, oh, I'm sure that was just a misunderstanding.
Well, don't worry, Miss Rocks. We'll take care of the problem, right, guys?
Da.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sure that there's no problem. With a 3, you can tell that she's not all the way there right now. But you can't tell if it's from drugs or from what, but she just seems kind of detached. Yeah, Tuvin looks almost like really annoyed the fact that Crystal kind of crashed the party. He thought she was down for the night. And he just kind of like takes her and steers her like away. Like he kind of stands up and he's just like, let's. Okay. And he,
Bye.
So it's probably safe intuition by the way he reacted. She's probably on some kind of like sleeping pill.
Yeah, she does not really have any sort of strong reaction to the fight that Tubin says really upset her. As he's leading her away, he kind of reaches into his pocket and he'll hold something up and she'll just kind of like lean away and he'll kind of just like guide his hand up to her face and push her into the room and he's like, just go back to bed, sweetheart. I'll take care of everything. You roll a perception for me, because this is something that you might specifically recognize.
6.
All right, it's
Nice, somebody finally broke 3.
yeah, it's I forget what they're actually called, but it's like the inhalant, like that doses people via like just breathing in. And he kind of just like ushers her back in, and he'll close the doors, and you hear a click as he locks the doors.
Okay. So, based on what I just saw, I've made the assessment, and this is something I'd probably share with you guys once we get downstairs. You know, not in an audience with Mr. 2, which he introduced himself as
Mr.
Mr. 2.
Yes.
Okay. Between him just not seeming on the up and up like a typical Johnson, him effectively drugging her right in front of us with an inhalant, and then locking her in a room, and her coming out to us drugged, or at least very uncoordinated and almost incoherent in the example of him bringing up the fight and her not remembering and just kind of glossing over and like, oh, must not have been that big of a deal, I'm sure it's fine. Like, this is, he's keeping her drugged and locked up in a room and he's outright lying to us. There's something very blatantly wrong with this.
Duh.
But, I mean, I guess we'll wrap up this interaction and then he'll share that.
Yeah, so Mr. 2 will say, the show is Saturday night. I expect this to be done before then. It's pretty straightforward. I've given you everything that I have, and you seem to have dug up your own information already, so...
I'd say so.
Good on you for that. Since we are on a time crunch,
Good
I
job.
suppose
Team.
we should wrap this up. And I am very tired, so I'm sure you know the way out.
Yes.
Yeah, there's only
I'm
one
sure,
door.
I'm sure you will have no problem sleeping.
Goodbye.
Bye, sir.
So the bodyguard is going to escort you out. And once you get to the elevator attendant's going to be there and open it for you, escort you guys out.
Same procedure, except in reverse.
Exactly.
We get halfway down and go, damn it, I forgot the donuts. He wouldn't let me go back and get those.
As we walk to the elevator, I'm going to look at the bodyguard once we're outside the room
I really wanted that eclair.
and say, how many men do you usually bring with you on mission or on detail?
Yeah, so I'm gonna say it's usually a 2-guy operation. They might have brought in a 3rd guy in the last few weeks or so because of the stalker situation.
Is Tuville there?
Where?
Does he follow Miss Rocks around?
Generally, they tend to ride together, but he was in the car for the duration of that.
Okay.
She seemed so nice.
Nice. Yes. He whispers. When they're in the elevator, he whispers. He's a nice American word for stoned.
It can be.
Where are you guys gonna go from here?
Well, once we're out of the elevator and we're back in the staff area,
Or probably out in the alleys, getting ready to get in our cars or something.
yeah, that's when he would share the information that he deduced while we were in the meeting.
She was high as kite.
That's odd. You don't think you'd... Why would they do that to the talent?
I don't know.
Should
I don't
they
know.
be able to perform well?
Also not sure. It would make sense.
She seems sedated on video as well.
I mean, some artists perform while intoxicated.
I guess
This is
that's True.
I'm not familiar with whatever stunts she may perform on stage, so I
can
can't
find
really...
some.
Is this our research? Is watching music videos?
It can't hurt. Maybe we'll see him in the crowd.
Well, I mean, I think it's different watching music videos from watching
That's right.
concert footage.
Well, he was referring to concert footage.
Okay.
Because that's actually doing things on stage as opposed to a staged music video.
All right, Tim's, did you want to pull up some concert footage?
I'm sure that's easy to find.
Oh
Do
yeah.
we have
You probably have some downloaded.
Give me a second.
Does the runner bar? I don't know. Do we have a place where we can go to discuss this? Not in street.
I don't know. Well, I mean, have you ever been to Half Pint?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so you know
I
about Half
haven't.
Pint.
I hang out at Russian bars.
Yeah.
I don't know
mean,
if Tim's ever been to Half Pint either.
No, we could go to the Half Pint, but I mean, this is also a vacant alley. It seems fine unless he needs a better signal.
Well, I mean, he's kind of just passed out in the alleyway right now, so I think he's doing just fine.
Yeah.
Got it. Send it to both of them.
All right, so yeah, it's a shaky like it's not professional. It's taken by a fan. It was probably a concert from about a month ago.
So, is she awkward?
A little bit. Now that you know what to look for, like
There's a couple missteps in the choreography.
that, and like she just doesn't. Like she's smiling and she looks like she's having a good time, but you can almost kind of tell like when you're really paying attention, like she might be lip syncing.
So it's not real. It's like it's fake happy.
Yeah, she might be lip syncing. She is a little like just a fraction behind the other dancers. Like they don't have her doing anything super complicated. Like she's not doing any like Lady Gaga stunts. She's doing more like Katy Perry stuff.
Alright, so she's lip syncing and she's not really doing anything too active while on stage. Like, what are we talking about? Like, maybe a shaking of the hips and a couple of steps, like to the left, to the right. Alright, so she's not singing, she's not dancing. Like, alright, so she's a puppet. Like she doesn't seem to have any actual.
She has auto-tunable voice.
Like if she has any talent, it's not in the concert. Like maybe it's in the recording studio. Who knows? But now we've established that she was high there. She has similar symptoms on this video. So maybe we're going after like a conspiracy theorist, like someone who's like learned this secret and just like. But if you follow the yarn.
Teams, find this bodyguard.
Find the bodyguard?
He was put in hospital. If he's conscious, we can talk to him.
I can try. Can we go somewhere where there's not a dumpster next to me? Because I can't get this tie dirty.
What, you can't work under these conditions?
I just
don't know how to
don't
clean
understand
your tie?
this tie.
Yeah, no, I know the runner bar that I was hoping to avoid, but that's fine.
We
can't
can go to Russian bar if you like.
What's the address?
He sends you the address of the Half Pint.
I'll meet you there in like 30 minutes.
Okay.
I have to return this tie.
It's like 9 o'clock at night.
And?
Okay.
He doesn't sleep.
The man who owns this does not sleep.
Okay.
Okay. I'll be back.
So Tim's goes to return a tie.
Yeah,
He gets in his like mom van that's parked out front.
Oh my god, you have a mom minivan?
He's got an Econo van.
Oh my fucking god.
It's got seats for everyone.
Okay, so you hop in and you pop the clutch and you drive off.
Yeah. And goes back to deliver this expensive ass tie.
What's your pilot ground craft?
Good.
Oh, okay. I was just wondering how many times you grind the gears on your way there.
Roll me a die.
It's a 2.
Okay. The tie's in perfect condition.
Thank God.
It's just a little crummy, so you kind of just dust the crumbs off. You take it off and you return it to your boss.
Yeah.
who I'm sure doesn't even remember lending it to you.
No, not in the slightest. He doesn't know what you're doing at his door.
I brought your tie back.
What tie? Did you take one of my ties?
You lent it to me for the job. Because
job?
I don't own one.
Oh, that... Yeah, no, that's great. Alright, yeah, no, go ahead and give
I
me the
think
tie.
it was a real hit.
Alright, that's great. Tell me all about it tomorrow.
Okay,
Alright,
here you go.
thanks. He has the door, like, halfway open, and he just kind of takes the time, like, alright, good night.
Bye.
Alright, and he closes the door.
Back to the van.
Hey, you got it tomorrow instead of a Monday.
So I'll eventually show
So
it
yeah,
to
you show up at the half pint. You guys are already there. Probably just shooting the shit about Mr. Two.
He put his armor jacket on to get in to when you drove over, and you would know because you've been sitting next to him for a while that when he takes his helmet off, you'd also see he has what look almost like troll horns
Okay.
coming off of the helmet, and they look like they're probably made of bone. And since you're a doctor, you might realize that they're actually troll horns
Okay.
that have been mounted to the helmet, and the helmet won't stop beeping. You know that tone lock, that dee-dee-dee-dee?
That's awful.
It sounds like that, but there's like maybe, I don't know, how many people are in the half pint?
It's a Thursday night, so
Means we got FPS and turbo.
yeah, there's 7 people there,
Okay.
2 of which are FPS and Turbo, the Half Pint's favorite patrons. They're currently in a heated argument over
Literally anything.
literally anything. Like it's gotten to the point where people don't even realize. Like,
Which
know
one of the
anymore.
two is more compliment to the team?
Exactly.
So there are approximately 7 distinctly different tones. It's a really annoying helmet.
So yeah, you show up. What do you guys start talking about?
I mean, I want to investigate the leads that we have on this guy, because
Okay.
now I'm on the conspiracy theorist train. So I'm trying to find anything about the information that was provided to us about him to disprove that theory.
Sure thing, Doc. Where should I start?
I mean, we were all given the file on
Yeah.
this guy.
You're given
Right.
the file, which was basically a dossier of information of people doing their own investigations on him. Probably like some snapshots of him coming and going, buildings, snapshots of him at crowds.
Alright, so tell me about some of the buildings.
There's one that he's seen out in front of several times.
Tenement building?
Yeah, it's like a tenement building, but it's just from a brief like search of it, like people don't live there anymore.
So
It's
it's
kind
abandoned?
of condemned. And like it's in like the outskirts of the Redmond Barrens.
Okay, so now we have an abandoned tenement building in the Redmond Barrens, which means, well, it's not abandoned, it's condemned. So I'm gonna go out on a limb based on the reputation of the Redmond Barrens that there's an assortment of drug users in the Redmond Barrens, which would also explain how this human was capable of beating up this orc, because I didn't see any obvious cyber limbs on him.
Nope, he didn't. And the video is really too grainy to see
I mean, it's
too
possible
many details.
that
but-
this guy might be a supplier for this Mr. 2. Maybe he's gonna let the cat out of the bag about giving him these drugs
That's a good
that
idea.
seems to be keeping Crystal Rocks sedated. So he might just want him shut up to keep that secret. What else do we have?
You have the emails that were sent. There's dozens upon dozens of them.
Right, which
from-
we had already covered, and they kind of fluctuate back and forth between I love you, I hate you, be with me, I want to kill you. Is there anything beyond that?
You could track the,
Can I backtrace it?
yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
Yeah. I'll busy myself doing that while you two discuss.
Do the two guys, does the guy who beat up the orc and Crystal Rocks bear any resemblance?
Like, are they related? Are you
Could
asking?
they be related?